Author's background. John Milton, born in 1608, was a highly influential English poet and intellectual, renowned for his works such as Paradise Lost. His writing often delved into themes of religion, politics, and personal struggle. In his later years, Milton became completely blind, which greatly impacted both his personal life and his literary output. Despite this, he continued writing, dictating his work to assistants, which solidified his status as one of the greatest poets of the English language. Poem's background. On His Blindness is a sonnet written after Milton lost his sight, reflecting his inner turmoil and concern about his ability to fulfill his divine purpose without his vision. The poem is thought to have been composed around 1652, after his blindness began to take hold. It captures the poet's struggle with the feeling of inadequacy, as he wonders how he continued to serve God without being able to use his talent for writing as effectively as before.
On His Blindness, a poem by John Milton. When I consider how my light is spent, half my days in this dark world and wide, and that one talent which is dead to hide, lodged with me useless, though my soul more bent, to serve there with my Maker, and present my true account, lest the returning chide, that God exact they labor, light denied, I fondly ask, but patience, to prevent that murmur, soon replies. God doth not need either man's work or his own gifts, who best bear his mild yoke, they serve him best. His state is kingly, thousand at his bidding speed, and possess land and ocean without rest. They also serve who only stand and wait.
Part-by-part analysis. Lines 1 and 2. When I consider how my light is spent, here half my days in this dark world and wide. Milton contemplates his blindness and feels a profound sense of loss. The light symbolizes his sight and, metaphorically, his life's potential. He feels he was wasted much of his life in a world that seems dark and challenging. Lines 3 and 4. And that one talent, which is dead to hide, lodged with me useless, through my soul more bent. Here, one talent refers to his poetic ability. Milton feels that hiding his talent due to his blindness is a grave loss. His desire to serve God with his writing intensifies his frustration and unable to do so. Lines 5 and 6. To serve there with my Maker and present my true account, lest he returning chide. Milton expressed a deep yearning to use his writing as a form of service to God. He fears that on Judgment Day, God may criticize him for not utilizing his gifts effectively. Lines 7 and 8. Does God suckly they labor, light denied? Fondly asked, but patient to prevent. Milton questions whether God expects him to perform work even though he cannot see. This reflects his internal struggle. He introduces patience as a comforting response to his doubts, hinting at a deeper understanding. Lines 9 and 10. The murmur soon replies, God do not need either man's work or his own gifts who best. Patience reassures Milton that God is not dependent on human efforts. This emphasizes that God's power and purpose are beyond human contribution, alleviating Milton's anxiety about his limitations. Lines 11 and 12. Bear his mild yoke, they serve him best. His states is kingly, thousands at his bidding speed. The mild yoke symbolizes humility and submission to God's will. Milton suggests that true service comes from acceptance of one's situations, portraying God as a souvenir who commands many to act. Lines 13 and 14. And pose o'er land and ocean without rest, they'll also serve who only stand and wait. This line contrasts active service with passive endurance. Milton concludes that those who patiently accept their circumstances, like him, also serve God. It highlights the stillness and faithfulness can be meaningful contribution.
Overall message of the poem. The poem conveys a profound message about faith, acceptance, and patience in the face of adversity. Milton initially laments his inability to use his gift for God's glory, but eventually comes to the realization that God does not demand specific works from him. Instead, God values patience and trusts in his will, implying that those who patiently accept their circumstances also serve a divine purpose. The closing line, "They also serve who only stand and wait," reflect this acceptance of his condition and trust in God's greater plan.
Impact on the reader. The poem touches readers by addressing the universal experience of facing personal challenges and limitations. Milton's struggle with his blindness and his eventual acceptance of it served as a powerful reminder that one's worth isn't solely based on productivity or outward achievements. Instead, it highlights the importance of patience, faith, and trust in a greater plan. This message can resonate deeply with anyone who has felt frustrated by their own limitations, offering comfort and encouragement that even in times of waiting or stillness, one can still have a meaningful purpose.